Hello, dear students. Welcome to this module 3 lecture for the PhD students. This is your teacher, Professor Nirmal Kumar Swain, Department of Library and Information Science, Maharshi Dayananda University, Rohtak, Haryana. In my previous modules, 2 modules, so I have discussed about, so you have finalized the topic and the title. So now we will discuss today the research proposal. A research proposal is defined in many ways. Research proposal is like is your blueprint, your design chart, what exactly you want to do. But in case of in the context of doing PhD, the research proposal is invariably known as PhD synopsis in India, or sometimes we synopsis also we pronounce it, but basically it is research proposal. So this PhD, so today we will discuss PhD synopsis in especially in terms of content and the structure, what it should look like and what exactly should it contain. So the students, especially the PhD students, newly inducted students, they are a bit confused, sir, how to write synopsis, and there are a couple of questions comes to their mind. In my case, my students used to ask, sir, how many number of pages? Though typically they ask, it does have some kind of merit in their questions, like how long it should be, because there is so as such we don't have any fixed or a limit kind of thing, like exactly nowhere it is written also. So I design in this way, like it should be brief, short and sweet rather. So brief means how brief, like it should not be that brief, it should miss many things what exactly you want to say. So I ask my students in library and information science, and it is common for I think common for other social science students also. Similarly, science students are not any unique or so similar kind, but it is heard also equally, like especially in case of humanities. So humanities, especially in philosophy, religion, literature, so they have a different kind of orientation. Even I heard it like this, but so maybe 5 to 7 pages is enough for them. In our case, I suggest 10 to 12 pages, not even 15, not best. If it is stressed, it should be 15 pages, or else 10 to 12 pages are enough for this. Anyway, so how to, the problem is that the students ask, sir, very difficult to propose the PhD work in such a limited number of pages. Limited number of pages, because it is all about, like you may have certain ideas. Obviously you should have certain ideas, including what exactly you want to do, but writing matters. Suppose the students are not that much trained in writing. So once you are not trained writing, so you go on writing, so it gets expansive. Anyway, we'll come to the writing part in some other modules. So coming to that, it is the structure first. How does it look like? Structure, sometimes I would say there are structures, there are though it is not written anywhere, when I look into the literature, especially the synopsis or the PhD proposal presented in American universities or typically in Indian universities, the format and the structures are different. Okay, so you should look into that also, or else your research supervisor may not accept. While presenting your research proposal, maybe some other members, panelists, they may object also why it is not like this. So better the university you are working, I mean you are pursuing your PhD in case of our Maharishi Dayananda University, Rohtak. So the pattern is followed, not is written anywhere. Followed in the sense, suppose I am a research supervisor and students are, I am having 5 to 7 students. Obviously, I refer the synopsis of my previous students to the younger generations. You look into it. The moment I share this with others, so that means the pattern or the structure is followed. What exactly structure is that? Even if you go to say Chennai or Mangalore, Hyderabad, Mumbai, any universities in other states also, you don't find much difference in the structure and the format. Formats are almost same. So little bit differences, and how does it differ? Where the differences we find? I will let you know whenever it occurs. So the first is structure. Structure is that it has a cover page like I'll share somewhere in my video. I would show structure is that which contains, the cover page contains first your title of your PhD work. And then you must write a subtitle. It's a synopsis. It is a synopsis. Unless and until you mention that the word synopsis or synopsis, then it may mean some other thing. So, and where is it submitted? It's submitted to the department. Like in India we call it a department, sometimes school also, like in other universities you find school or faculty, but mostly Department of Library and Information Science. So, and which university? So what are the the basic content of a cover page? I am talking about cover page department, and the year you are submitting. Remember 2020, and and often we attach a logo of your university. That, and if you look at any other previous synopsis of your senior researchers, probably you will come to know this is structure. Okay. So, and probably they don't, in some universities those are sincere in research work, so they have a structure like you write like this, you cannot deviate. So maybe, but the content is same, but in suppose you go to Department of Political Science, Department of History, Microbiology, Physics, Chemistry, Biology, so, and in social sciences also, history, political science, economics, geography, so you find the different way they write. But these are the key elements should be there in the cover page. Okay. So then come to, after cover page we will come to your structure, then mention table of content. We call it TOC, table of content, because there are at least there will be 5 to 10 headings, so that you put all the headings in the table of content. Table of content is very it gives a decency look to your work, and it proves the sincerity of the students also. Like when it goes for evaluation, suppose you present before a panel or panelist, they how do they sort? Suppose they want to see what kind of how methodology you are employing in your work, so at least they look into the page number and they go into, so 10-12 pages they easily. So table of content should be there. Rather, I strongly suggest to the younger generation, those are, then come to the structure inside. Suppose the content. We are two things you are discussing, structure and the content. So let me finish up the structure first. So then your text begins. Text, you know, whatever the matter we write, we roughly we call it matter, but technically we call it the text. Text begins with the first heading, that is introduction until the end. So we are focusing on the structure part, and so there will be headings. What would be headings? While discussing the content, we will come to that. The first heading would be the introduction. Okay. Then come to introduction, then another heading, then another heading, then another heading. Okay. So then lastly you mention the references. And references, sometimes the people from humanities background, they mention it works cited, the one and the same thing. So this is the structure, and in next module let us divide into the content. So in our content part, we will describe in detail about how the content should be in a research proposal or in a PhD synopsis. Bye bye.